Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Mandy and I'm here to talk about two new Guerlain products, show you how I use them and give you my thoughts. The two products that we're going to be talking about is the new Terracotta Glow. So the terracotta tint is not new. I have never tried it, so I'm not going to be able to do a comparison. I know, but I just have never tried it despite people telling me I need to. But when I saw this one had launched just a few weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I'm finally going to try it. I'm going to try this new version. And then I also got the limited edition terracotta bronzers. So they're called terracotta light bronzers, and there's 3 of them and they all come in different color compacts. So the top tortoiseshell is the same, and then there's a different color on the bottom. So mine is the medium cool, so it has this kind of burnt orange bottom. The light warm has a beige bottom of the compact, and then the medium warm has a yellow one. So depending on what shade you choose is what shade compact you will get. So let's start out with the Teint Glow. I am in the shade 2N. This retails for $65. It comes in the standard, I believe, 1 ounce, and it comes in 30 different shades. Again, I have 2N, which is described as light skin with neutral beige undertones. They didn't have one that was light medium, or at least described as light medium. It jumped from light to medium, so I chose this one and it works great. So this is a liquid foundation. It is not overly runny. It's definitely not like a serum foundation, but it's not too thick either. And it is formulated with 95% naturally derived ingredients. It claims to be long wearing, no transfer, and gives the skin a plumped and glowy, healthy look and an overall fresh and luminous complexion. It says it is formulated with active skincare water, which delivers 24-hour radiance and 48 hours hydration. The main skincare ingredients that they are showcasing are neroli water, which helps to ensure hydrated skin that reflects light for a natural glow, and argan oil, which is an iconic ingredient in the terracotta franchise and helps to hydrate skin while ensuring long-lasting comfort. Now, when I look at the full ingredient list, those are pretty far down on the list. I would say about 75% down the list. This also includes alcohol and fragrance in the ingredient list. The fragrance was not surprising to me. This is a luxury product, a luxury company, and typically they add fragrance to their makeup products. Fragrance does not tend to irritate my skin, and to be quite honest, I do really like the fragrance in this. I don't know what it is about it, but I enjoy it. It doesn't linger. Once I'm done applying it, it goes away. I would say this is a light coverage foundation. I did not try to build it up. I didn't feel the need to. I was able to get enough coverage just with 1 layer. I use 2 pumps of this for my entire face, and then I'll use like another half of a pump for my neck. They are a little bit smaller pumps. So I would say in some foundations, it's equivalent to like 1.5 pumps. In true foundation review fashion for me, I always like to test it for a certain amount of days. I like to use different SPFs. I like to use different powders. And the reason I do this is because I use different SPFs. I use different powders. And in order for me to qualify a foundation or a tint as good, it needs to work with everything. So I like to test it with everything to see if it does. When I had first received this, I used it the majority of the time with the Elta MD UV Elements, which is no longer available. I'm finishing up my last tube of that, which I'm so sad about. It worked great with that. I had no issues with that at all. When I started testing other ones, I used the Dermatology Matte, UV Matte, which I really like as an SPF. And then I use a 2-step powder routine where I use a loose powder in my T-zone, and I tend to set the rest of my face with a pressed powder. On the day that I used the UV Matte, I used my Dalton loose powder and my Sicily pressed powder around the face. Now, every time I use that Sicily powder, everybody always says that's meant to be used before foundation. It can be used before foundation or it can be used after foundation. That is per Sicily's global makeup artist, and that is per my Sicily sales associate. So I use it over foundation and I typically love it. On this day, it did break up quite a bit. In fact, it must have been my sourdough and olive oil that I was eating where a literal circle came off of my chin. I guess some of the olive oil got on my chin and it just came right off. And it was very patchy on my nose as well. However, this is the type of foundation that from afar, if I just look in a mirror and I don't get up real close and try to critique it, it looks really good. And it still did on this day, despite the end of the day where I had, you know, the missing circle on my chin. The next day, I used my Centella 1004 SPF, which does not have any kind of tint to it. It's a little bit hydrating. I used my Huda Beauty in my T-zone, and I used my Chantecaille compact makeup everywhere else. It wore much better on this day than the day before. I don't find it was too shiny. I don't find it was too matte. I found it was just very solid all day long. And then the final day where I wrote things down, I used my Josh Rosebrook. They say it's a tinted SPF, but really it's just enough to not leave a white cast. It does not give me any kind of coverage. And I used my RMS loose powder in the T-zone and my Aeropress pressed all over. The thing about this day is that I was a little bit more luminous throughout the day, but it wasn't too much. It was kind of like the perfect amount of luminous for my taste. I didn't feel the need to touch up. It wasn't that shiny, but it was just an overall glow. So while it was definitely different from the other 2 days, as far as the luminosity and radiance, I didn't find it any less pretty, and I did not have any breaking up issues with that. So really I only had the issues with it breaking up that one day. This is a very, very pretty tint. I, again, cannot compare it to the original. However, I still feel like if you have the original, you don't necessarily need this because I don't know. I can't say because I haven't seen the original, but I've seen people use the original. It doesn't look that different to me. Is it in my top 5? No. Have I tried some other tinted moisturizer / tinted foundations that I'm going to be talking about in the future that I like a lot better? Yes. Am I returning this? No. I will continue to use it. I like the color. Overall, I like the wear. I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10. And the reason it's not higher is because it did not work that one day with either the powder or the SPF that it didn't work with. And I just, in order for me to give a foundation or base product a solid 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, I really need it to work with everything. But it's still very pretty. Not sad that I have it. But out of the 2 things that I bought, that's not my favorite. So let's talk about the bronzer real quick. The bronzer is amazing. I honestly, I purchased another new bronzer around the same time as this one. I have used that once, and every other day I've used this. Every other day, and I've had this for probably 10 days now. I have a lot of bronzers in my collection, y'all. I have a lot that I love, but this one, there's just something special that this one does. I don't feel the need to buy a backup of this because the bronzer is not new. The limited edition aspect is the compacts itself. I love that I got the orange one because I am born and bred a UT fan, so anything orange is not bad. And that is University of Tennessee, not University of Texas, even though this is more of the Texas orange. It's still orange, okay? And it is a refillable compact. They're saying the shades are beige, amber, and ochre. Beige being the light warm, amber being the medium cool, which I have, and ochre being the medium warm. The difference between the cool and the warm are the blush shades you see intertwined with the bronzer. The cool is a pink blush shade. The 2 warms are more of a peachy blush shade. So if you see up close, this has a matte bronzer, a shimmer bronzer, and a blush shade. I mix all 3 together. My favorite brush to use with this is the Sonia G Sheer Buffer Brush. It is the perfect color. It applies perfectly. It blends perfectly. It melts into my skin and skin tone and looks natural. And I think that's why I love it so much. The compact is $64, or the compact with the product. When you buy the normal non-limited edition compact, it's $60 and the refill is $51. Now this one doesn't come in as many shades as the normal compact does. In fact, it has half the amount of shades. So it only has 3 options where the original compact has 6. But I find medium cool works absolutely beautifully on me. I love that I have this compact. I love that it's refillable. I definitely see myself hitting pan on this, considering I can't stop using it. And I will be repurchasing a refill to continue using it because I love it. So definitely the winner out of these 2, but I'm not mad about either one of them. I still want to try the Perur, I can't say it right. Is that how you say it? Perur Gold collection. I want to try the powder and the foundation. So if you've tried that, let me know your thoughts. I will definitely be putting that on my next to buy list. Hopefully this kind of mini review of the 2 products that I got from Guerlain was helpful. I will have everything listed and linked down below per usual. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.